Coming to you from the Outerbelt studio, it's Tuesday night.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Outerbelt Podcast. I'm your co-host, Patrick, and you all know my other co-host, Mr. Chile.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
And, of course, last but not least, we have the one, the only, Jerome Barrow over there on the walkie-talkie.
Hey, everybody.
Well, we are back for Season 2. We had a nice little break.
Hey, Patrick?
Yeah, what?
I hate to do this. I know how you hate to be corrected, but weren't we going to do something a little different here for Season 2? Like a whole new set?
I completely forgot.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, well, let's work on that. We'll be right back.
Right back.
Right back.
Right back.
And action.
Well, this is better.
Oh, yeah, much better.
Oh, much better.
Much better, yeah.
Why didn't we do this to begin with?
It's a good question. We should have. I don't know. We didn't have that idea.
I kind of did, but like in a
Just
not
do it
at all
where you
kind of
do
way.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great idea, though. I think it's so much more comfortable.
We
got extra people here with us
Look
today.
at all the space.
Look at all the space.
It's
More inviting.
it's
It is
so much more.
inviting.
Yes.
It brings them into our home.
Our home?
Our home.
Our home. Yes.
Our home,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
The
Yeah, our
Hyfield
home. The
family
Hyfield
home.
family
Yeah.
home. Yes.
Yeah.
No, I dig it. We got to put like a plant here or something. I don't know. We'll figure it
We'll
out.
figure that out. The ficus tree.
A ficus tree. You know, one that comes like here.
Right.
Like
exactly.
blocks our
It blocks
faces.
our faces. It'll be much prettier than us anyway. So
That's
that works
very
just
true.
fine.
Very true.
Yeah. Well, we
Yeah.
got space for guests.
We do have space for guests. We don't have microphones for guests, but we're working on that.
We're working on that. We'll get there.
Yeah.
We don't have guests yet either.
Well,
So
we could.
we could, yeah. Where's he at over there?
Where's he at?
Huh?
Huh?
What? You talking to me?
Don't have enough microphones.
No, it's okay.
Anyways, well, welcome home. This is our new studio. We've got, as you see, we went for more of a lounge theme.
Yeah.
People seem to like it so much at Expo, and we were like, you know what? We're just missing something.
We are.
And you know what that was? That was Melissa and Eric.
It was Melissa and Eric.
Buttermilk
But now they're here.
and Eric are now in the building. Hi, Buttermilk. Hi, Eric.
Hello. Thank you for having us.
Oh, having us? What do you mean? You're part of the cast
You're
now.
here now. You're permanent.
You're
Oh.
stuck
You
like
are.
glue.
Nice. How do you feel about that, Eric?
At least she's attractive.
Oh,
I don't even know what to say to that.
The ficus tree won't be blocking the view of Melissa. That's for
Okay, I
sure.
see that.
Yeah.
I see that. I see that. So we just, I'm gonna leave it alone.
So we're back.
So we're back. We're back for Season 2. Y'all wanted more of us. We kept hearing people say over and over and over again, when are they going to get started back again? When are they going to do more shows? When are we going to see this again? And it was like, all right, we're doing it. We're back. We had a nice long break. It was a great break. I had so much.
so
There was
much.
a lot.
It was a lot.
There
It
was
was
a
a
lot.
lot.
Yeah.
It was a break.
It was a break.
It was
no
a
doubt.
break.
No doubt.
What else happened since then? Actually, you know, it's kind of funny. I've been out of town for
Ever?
14 days or so now.
Oh, is that it?
And something like that. And we haven't even been able to catch up.
We haven't.
I talked to you on the phone for a little bit, but I haven't even really chatted with you at all. And events. So if you're listening on the podcast, I've talked with Jerry a little bit on the phone, but I have not been able to catch up with Mel or Vince, or even Eric for that matter. And so it's nice to actually see y'all again. What's been going on?
It's been a hot moment.
It's just been busy. Been busy with life and trucks and life and more trucks and
Yeah.
it's been a busy month of January. It really has.
Yeah, I saw one person, our good friends over at Millennials and Trucking, she posted January was a long year.
Yes.
It was.
I
Yeah.
know.
Very long year.
Oh, we had that whole polar apocalypse that happened.
We did.
And, we had the whole Hyfield at Sea thing. We had Christmas. We had
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
New Year's.
Yes. It's just been
we had
crazy.
we had King Day.
what? We had King Day.
Yeah.
Martin Luther King Day?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yep, that was in there too.
Never heard it called King Day.
Well, it's, short vernacular. What's the word I'm looking for?
I have no idea.
Shorthand.
Abbreviation.
It's shorthand.
Oh, shorthand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I thought it was MLK Day. I thought that was a shorthand.
King Day.
King Day, all right.
Yeah.
King Day it is.
King Day.
I'm not going to correct you. I'm just going to roll with it. What do? We bought 4 tractors.
Yeah.
We added 4 tractors to the fleet. Those were what were those configurations again, Vince?
We had the 2 ARI Cascadias that went out fallish, and then we just put out 2 Cascadia Bolt Cascadia sleepers.
Yeah.
The last one today, one last week, and one today.
I saw that. I was supposed to be here earlier this week to pick that truck up brand new and work with you to get it prepped and everything, and had to be in Georgia, unfortunately, and wasn't able to make it. But you got it handled. It sounded like
you're in good hands with Vince.
I know.
Yeah, we took care of it.
That's the saying, isn't it?
You're in good hands with Vince.
Yeah, I've heard that one.
National TV ad.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, with all Vince, right?
All Vince. All Vince all the time.
Oh, it's the Chili Show.
But no, it's been busy. The beautiful tractors, got them up and running, ready to go. A couple little hiccups here and there, but as it's any new customs truck, you're going to have a couple of hiccups. But like I said, the last one, the most recent one went out today.
Yes.
Picked it up on Monday. It went out today. And so far, they're happy.
Very cool.
And looking forward to some big things with the tractor.
I saw some pictures. I saw 2 pictures posted on Facebook over the past couple of days. One of the tractors over at FedEx and one of them at Panther, and that's some long rigs. That is a lot of truck.
Yeah, it's a lot of truck. You put a
It's
trailer
I mean, that sleepers, both of them are beautiful, no matter which one you get. But even Bolt is blown out of the park. I mean, everybody knows ARI and their high end luxury. These Bolt ones,
they're beautiful.
Oh, they're
beautiful.
They're killing it.
Yeah.
They're so nice, and it's just been impressive to see what they've done. And then our guys over at ELW have done these custom fab work for us on the back to make things like load bars and stuff a lot easier. And it's just been I've been really proud of how these things have come out. They're really, really slick. But man, it's a lot of truck. But it's the cost of living in a small apartment while going down the road, right?
It is. That's what you're doing. That's truly what you're doing.
Yeah.
Living in a small apartment.
Oh, I went with Vince this week and drove him over to get that tractor, and it's a really pretty tractor.
Yeah.
The features of it, and I like the Cascadia kind of build, but that's me. But it's really nice, and it is very much a mini apartment on wheels. So, I don't know that I personally would want to be responsible for all of that length, but I only have a Class B, so I don't have to worry about
There
it.
you go.
But definitely, they're pretty trucks.
I like you're talking about the Cascadia. You think that looks particularly good, and it does, I think. But my heart just beats a little faster when I see that Western Star.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
That
it's a
Western
beautiful
Star's
truck.
gorgeous.
It's
Absolutely.
gorgeous.
But it's
It
funny.
really is.
We've talked to some people who have been like, we want the Cascadia. Like, we've driven a Cascadia. We understand how Cascadias are. We'd rather have that. And then other people are like, oh, I love the Western Star with those smokestacks and everything.
Yeah.
It just looks beefy. And it's funny to see, like, 2 trucks that have 2 totally different, like, mentalities behind what person wants which one. And it's cool to have both in the fleet that people can kind of,
Oh, yeah.
when they're available,
When they're
they can
available, sure.
actually do it. Right now, our tractor
Sure.
fleet's full. But it's been a very cool process over the past year, really putting
Yeah,
the tractor
it has been
program
a year.
together. And
Right.
Yes.
I look forward to seeing where this thing goes over the next year or two.
It's funny, when we went to the dealership on Monday to pick that truck up with Melissa, usually I use you when you're there to distract our guy over there and talk to him while I do my inspection.
Yes,
Monday it was perfect. It had Melissa talking to him,
Yes.
distract him, let me do my thing, and we were good to go.
that is so funny. I've noticed, too, when we've gone over there to pick up trucks, like, we'll just start, catching up, and, we both talk about the good things. We talk about how much we hate our jobs, how much we love our jobs. Not kidding about that, but we do talk about just like, shooting the breeze,
Sure,
right?
yeah,
Just chatting about
exactly.
whatever.
Exactly.
And sometimes it's important. Sometimes it's about another truck or another deal or something. And the whole time we're having conversation, Sleeper, you're just snaking around us.
Yeah,
We're just
doing
gently
my
moving
thing.
here and gently moving
Oh,
there.
that's
and
funny. I did the same thing.
He's
Yeah.
taking plastic off the microwave and pulling trays out and firing the generator up, turning it off. And on one truck, I know the generator didn't come on, and he was like kind of stumped by it. So me and the salesperson just casually walk outside and pull the lid of the generator off. But like you're just doing
Just
it.
doing my
It's
thing. I got a
stinking
job to do.
awesome. And that would end up being it just need to be primed. Not a big deal, easy peasy. But it's really fun to watch. Like you're like, all right, y'all over there, leave me alone. and just methodically
Yep.
going through that sleeper. I had one the other day. I showed up. I was at the dealership for a totally different reason, and the dealer told me, he's like, "Hey, your next truck's here. Do you want to come look at it?" It's actually the tractor went out today,
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Sure." And I knew you were not far behind me. You were going to be there, so I'm like, "Sure, let's go check it out." And then we pulled it over to service. There was a part. This is an obscure one. This rarely happens, but there was actually a part for another one of my trucks in that truck. So in other words, the sleeper manufacturer had to send me some parts. So rather than mail them down, they knew they were having a truck being shipped down there. They just threw them in the sleeper, and then we pulled those parts out and gave them to service. And I didn't want anybody to scuff up the brand new truck, so me and the salesperson delicately took everything out so we didn't scratch any vinyl or tear up any floors or anything. And then he's like, "All right, what do you want to look at?" And I was like, "Oh no, Vince always does this part. What do we look at on these trucks again? What do we?" I start like pushing the buttons on the cabinets, and I'm like, "I know I've seen him do that. Turn the generator on. I know I've seen him do that." But there was like cardboard in front of the fridge, and I'm like, "I don't remember there being cardboard in front of the fridge. What does he do when there's cardboard in front of the fridge?" It was just I had a little panic moment, and then he showed up and walked in, and I was like, "Woo, I'm off the hook."
Well, and that one had just been delivered to the dealership from
just
Bolt.
been delivered.
So they hadn't done anything of their
No.
pre-sales inspection or anything at all. So
No. The outside was filthy. I mean, it was
yeah.
like, the salt debris and all the stuff they put on the
Yeah.
road was all over it. And so I gave him a little like, "You could have had it cleaned for us."
right.
He's
But
like, "It just got here." Anyways.
That sounds just like him too. at least if we can get into it early, we can find any faults in it.
Yeah.
If it has to go back or for more repairs, we can get taken care of right away, as opposed to that last minute
Absolutely.
where I'm picking the truck up Monday and delivering it on Thursday. There's not a whole lot of wiggle room there to get stuff taken care of.
There's
so.
really not, but I'll tell you this. I don't know if you've noticed it. Those tractors are so much easier.
Oh yeah,
to
they
get
really
ready.
are. They truly are. I don't have to load bars. Well, I got to put 6 load bars in them.
Yeah,
But I'm not carrying them to the back and putting them up high.
yes.
I got to worry about a pallet jack or furniture dolly.
Or two-wheel dolly.
Yeah,
or,
none of that.
yes,
None of
it's
that.
just
It's so much easier.
So much
So
easier.
much easier.
There's no reefer. There's no lift gates.
No,
There's
no lift
no
gates.
box that could telling what's wrong with the box.
Which makes the walk around that much faster.
It's yes.
Because I'm not getting in the box and showing them the lift gate and how it works. It's like, oh, if there's tires, you've seen tires before, right?
Yeah.
And it's easier with the tractor teams too, because they come on board with experience. So I still go over those
correct.
things, but they understand them better. They're used to it.
Yeah.
They're used to a fifth wheel and all that stuff. Inside is a different story because they may not have run an APU at all in their career.
Yes.
Or if they have, they may have run it the same way we run it. So there's some learning going on there, but it's so much easier with orientation to walk them
Absolutely.
around a truck.
Yeah.
So much
And
less.
if you're coming out of a factory sleeper, like you get into one of our custom sleeper straight trucks, it's like, "Oh, cool, we have a sink." That's neat.
right.
You come into one of these tractors, it's like, "I have a sink and a toilet
Yeah.
and a shower."
Mhm.
Like, how does that work?
Yeah.
So it
Right.
is some extra levels. Whereas, like within our straight trucks, you come in, you get into a straight truck, you got a sink, hot and cold running water, and we show you how to do that. And after you've been driving for a while, you've proved yourself, you've made the income, you've proved that you can handle a more expensive truck. Then you step into a bathroom truck, a bathroom sleeper, when one comes available, and so you're only having to learn a little bit more because it's just a small step up.
Sure.
Right.
Whereas going from a factory sleeper tractor to a 150-inch sleeper custom truck with all the accoutrement, it's a
Oh yeah.
giant
There's
leap.
a lot more to learn.
Yeah.
A lot more to learn. So.
But it is cool, like you said. For those of you who don't, maybe this is your first episode, or you don't know a lot about what we do on the straight truck side. So we run straight trucks and tractors. We're very large straight truck fleet, but we are growing our tractor fleet. On the straight truck side, we do not require experience. We'll take a brand new team, come in, we'll teach you everything you need to know, get you going. It's a really wonderful program we have with mentors and all this stuff, and some great people that help lead you on. On the tractor side, though, the carriers require us to have 2 years of experience. So if you want to drive a tractor, you do have to cut your teeth somewhere else, and then you can come over and get into one of these big bunk nice trucks. So that's why we say, the tractor drivers with experience, because the motor carriers kind of require it. So
Sure. I definitely think they need it though with all that.
yes.
All that truck.
All that truck.
Yeah.
I would want some experience, at least for myself.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. I could, my ego says I could do it, but I've never tried.
Right.
So I don't know what that feels like to have 100 feet behind you. Well, not behind you, but you would be 53, 63, 80 foot behind you, something like that.
Right.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
It's a lot. I mean, going straight down the road, no problem.
Yeah, absolutely.
Turning it, different animal.
Backing into
Backing,
a dock.
different animal. Yeah.
All I can think about is like when I was out there on the road in the straight truck, stopping at some of these truck stops with very, very tight spots.
Mhm.
And I remember one time we were actually waiting for a standard sleeper truck to park, and he just could not get it in this
Oh, yeah.
spot.
Yeah.
It was like 2:00 in the morning, and he finally gave up. And I whipped it right in there, and I parked in like 2 seconds. Like
Yeah.
I was just like, so yeah, I could never imagine
Yeah.
driving something that big.
but I
There were
think-
times early in my career driving a tractor trailer where I just couldn't find straight. You know, I'd get where I thought I was lined up and backing in, and I just couldn't find straight to get on the dock straight.
Yeah.
Or there were times when I was trying to get into a spot at 2 a.m, and I gave up because I just couldn't do it. But the frustrating thing, the same thing in a straight truck in this aspect is when you're done with your shift and you're tired, you just want to park and be done.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
In a straight truck, it's easier, I think, in a straight truck to make that maneuver and make it happen. Yeah, it's still, you still have to make your brain function and think about what you do. You can't just quit. In a tractor, there's a little more thought process when you're setting up and how you're doing it. And yeah, early on in my career, I can't get this. I'm done. I'm going to find somewhere else to park that's easier.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah.
It
Well, and I
happens.
think that's that whole experience factor. I mean, at some point,
It is.
you learn where the back of your truck is, you learn where the
Right.
back of your trailer
You do.
is, and you're able
do.
to pull that off a lot easier. And then again, that comes with the nice thing about having teams with a couple of years of experience. It is from a driving perspective, from a tractor to a custom sleeper tractor, it is just another step up. Now,
Sure.
the accoutrements are a totally different animal, but just the actual driving a truck with a standard sleeper to another one is just a longer wheelbase. It is not a whole lot of other change that goes along with it. You will have to kind of teach yourself, but after a little while, you get used to it.
Well, I had a team last week ask me if I had any tips and tricks on driving one of the big tractors.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm going to tell you what to tell all the brand new green drivers that come to drive our straight trucks. Take your time.
Yeah,
Don't let
absolutely.
anybody rush you. Take your time. Be patient. You're going to have to learn. It's a different pivot point
Mhm.
on the longer tractors. So when you're backing, when you're making turns, it's going to be a wider turn.
Yeah.
You know, to clear that curve or whatever obstacle's there. So I said, just take your time. I said, you've done this enough. They had 25 years experience between the two of them. I said, just take your time. Do what you know how to do and just take your time.
Absolutely. And I understand that it's a little intimidating, but so was driving a truck originally when you first started.
Oh,
it
sure.
was intimidating.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the first
Oh,
time
yeah.
I ever drove a 40-foot RV, it was intimidating.
Mhm.
Like, all of that at first is intimidating, but after a while you catch on to it. And I've heard some people go like, it's too big. I just don't ever see anybody being able to successfully pull that off. And I'm like, there's thousands of these things
Thousands.
running across the
Yeah.
nation. If it was impossible, that wouldn't be happening.
Right.
Right.
Did I tell you I was on an episode of Expedite Chicks?
Were you?
I was.
They have not called us yet to be on Expedite
I
Chicks.
know.
I'm not sure why. I don't think they like us.
I don't think that's it. How often are you in Georgia?
Maybe that's it.
I know they had Caleb in it on once over the phone at least.
Really?
Yeah.
They did?
Yes.
They don't. So there you go.
There you go.
They don't like us or
I-
me.
I
Maybe.
haven't been about it either.
They don't like you either. That's it. That's just it. They're going to put it out there. If they haven't invited us on their show, they don't like us.
All right.
But you were happy. You were
So-
lucky enough to be on it.
So now I feel arrogant. No, they were. Yes, they graciously invited me. They were like, "Please, please, please, we've been dying to have you on." And so I got a chance to go out there and we talked a little bit about Hyfield and how that how our fleet is and everything. It was a lot of fun. Jerry, you've had the opportunity to start editing that video. What was the comment you made to me about it?
I don't know. I don't remember.
So Jerry does a lot of editing for Expedite Chicks. It's a little side hustle of his. And
Side hustle.
and he the earlier today he was editing the video, and he said that as soon as he got on my video, he was like, "Oh my gosh, it's like editing an Outerbelt video." He said there were like so many starts and stops, and at one point Eric cued us in on take 150,
150.
150, just all kinds of crazy stuff. It was a lot of fun. It was nerve wracking because they don't like. we do a production, right? Like we sit down,
Right.
we do like mic checks, we do camera angles. We got 4 cameras on us now, studio lighting. Like this is a production. They set a ring light up in about 12 seconds, and she pops an iPhone in there. They sit down. They're like, "Chick's here," and I'm like, "Oh, okay,
no
here we
warning,
go. We're on." And it was planned. I mean, it wasn't like I didn't know it was going to happen. I just didn't know it would be that fast.
Right. You thought you had time to prep.
I thought I
still.
had time to prep and
Right.
think, and it was bright and early. They just woke me up. It was lunchtime, and they. I'm trying to think, and downing 5-hour energy, trying to
Yeah.
like get my brain going again, and I think it ended up being all right. We'll find out. Jerry's got I think 30 minutes of content to get down to 5 minutes, but hey, that's.
I've already started cutting out a lot, so
Cutting out a
I
lot.
think we're going to be all right.
Yeah.
And that video, I don't know when it's coming out, but it will be out on the Expedite Chicks, so check them out.
Absolutely check them out. They do some great work. I love it. They keep it nice and tight. It is not like us. They do not blabber on for 17 hours. They
Yeah.
actually do. They do get in there, get you the information you need, make a couple jokes, and get out. It's very digestible.
I got some news today before we started 5 hours ago.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Well, 5 hours ago. Yeah.
I got some news that there's a new Luke Shire X-Ray Adventures video released.
You know the Luke Shires?
I do know the Luke Shires.
Oh, really?
I do, yeah. So they had a new video released right before this episode started being recorded. So a couple days ago now that they're watching this. But yeah, new Luke Shire X-Ray Adventures video as well.
So if you go online right now on
Right this
YouTube,
moment.
you will see it.
You will see it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very
So
exciting.
it's been a while for them too.
It has been around
Yeah.
a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I blame Melissa.
I blame Buttermilk. Leave Melissa out of this.
All right, well, you Melissa. It's Buttermilk's fault.
Oh, that was a lot of fun.
I do think I recorded the last one by myself
You did.
back for Expo.
And you did an amazing job with it too.
you did.
Amazing.
I
You
know.
don't need me in those videos.
Might just start flying solo.
You should.
Maybe just Annie and I.
Just you and Annie.
There you go.
Yep. She's a Luke Shire.
Melissa and her little dog too.
I have to say something.
Buttermilk and the dog. I love it.
So when I started editing the Luke Shire video,
Also a side hustle.
Also a side hustle, yes.
I get a complete kick out of editing these videos because I never know what I'm going to find, especially when it comes to Patrick Lee.
Sorry.
But when I started editing their video, I literally LOL'd out loud because Vince is like, my butt's going to be in front of the camera. And he literally crawls in front of the camera and then shakes his butt in front of the camera before he turns around and sits down. And I was literally
Yeah.
laughing out loud.
The
It's
silly
funny.
stuff we do before we start recording. 'Cause,
Well, you gotta get.
I don't have a camera crew like we have here.
Yes.
When we do Luke Shire videos, it's just the two of us. Like I get the camera set up and make sure it's in frame properly, and then go around there so I can see what's going on. So that's what it was. Is I got to hit record and get extras. So you're welcome.
It was funny.
We have a good time when we do Luke Shire videos.
We should
Lots
do
of
it more
laughs.
often. It's a lot of fun.
And you got to do a little silliness to get the nerves out, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It
Ah,
just helps.
I don't have nerves.
So you know what we should do? We should invite Eric and Patrick on Luke Shire Explained Adventures.
Sure.
And we haven't done that yet.
Yeah.
He probably thinks we don't like him.
I'm down.
One can only assume.
Make dinner. Maybe play a board game.
Ooh,
Yeah, on camera.
that'd be fun.
That
Do a
would be fun.
video.
We'll do the first hour-long one. We'll play Operation.
Monopoly.
That
That'd be a good
I didn't say 12-hour long. I said
Oh.
1
1
hour
hour.
long.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
Get our time reeled back in there.
Oh.
So how are the chicks doing?
They're fine.
Good to know. Eric, how are the chicks doing?
They're kicking it.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah. Well, you know how I had on the last season a plane of the week?
Yeah, I didn't notice it. I thought we put a plane right here on display here today.
I thought we would too. Because
Why-
that's a lazy Susan.
It
It
is a
turns.
lazy Susan, yeah.
As long as you pick it up and
It
twist it,
turns.
it turns.
It's a two-man job.
Yes.
Two-person job.
Two-person
excuse me.
job.
Yeah.
4-person's better.
Yeah, 4-person. One
But-
person on each side, yeah.
Yes. We are going to discontinue, or not. Maybe I don't know about discontinue. We're at least going to pause.
Okay.
Pause the plane of the week. Suspend. Ooh, I like that word better. We're going to suspend the plane of the. We're going to discontinue.
No, because I thought we weren't discontinuing.
No, we're going to suspend.
The planes are on hiatus.
The planes
Actually, what's
are
happened
flying.
is the FAA is shut
The
them
FAA
down
is
because the next
grounded.
plane was going to be a 737
Yes.
MAX 9. So.
Max, yes, yeah,
What's the
yeah.
missing bolts?
Yeah, it was missing bolts.
It's missing bolts.
It's like my Lego set missing parts.
What? Like the
soon?
bolt tightener didn't show up that day.
Right, it didn't.
He was out sick.
He was out sick. Well, no one died, so we can laugh about it.
Oh.
But
The first
That-
tears of season 2.
that was insane. The number of people who, the number of planes they found with bolts missing.
Yeah.
Or not
Crazy.
missing, loose.
Loose, yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know what the fallout was
Apparently,
from that.
apparently the torque wrench wasn't calibrated.
yeah, it was set to nothing.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was set to free spin. It was set to reverse. Like you didn't switch the thing over, and it's just like, ooh, it's just working.
Exactly.
that's funny.
Yeah.
Well, some things are hand tight. You don't want to overstress the airframe.
No, you don't.
So,
So no more temporarily, possibly it's on hiatus.
suspended.
Plane of the week.
We'll see.
Okay.
Plane of the weeks. Instead, I have decided that there's no delicate way of putting this, but I've put on some extra tonnage.
Kind of like a 737.
No, my bolts are tightly secured.
Okay, gotcha.
And
There's a few screws loose, but the bolts
the
are all,
bolts, yeah,
all
exactly,
solid.
absolutely. Don't ask about the marbles; they're gone. Like I said, I've added some tonnage, and I am not doing a great job of taking it off. I thought it would be interesting if I shared my weight loss journey with everybody here on the Outerbelt, if y'all would allow me.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, you're putting yourself out there. You're getting some accountability, though.
Yeah, and I think I need two things. One, I need that.
Sure.
Right? Like it is for those of you who tried to lose weight without accountability, it's very, very difficult.
Right.
Because that, you just find yourself in situations where, like, DoubleTree cookies are being made, and it smells the whole house up, and it
Right.
smells delicious, and you end up eating them.
Oh.
You have
And
a husband that likes to bake.
or that,
Oh,
or a wife that likes to cook,
yeah.
or an Uber that likes to eat.
Yeah.
That's my problem. Anyways, so I thought, accountability, being able to share with y'all all my struggles and successes and stuff would certainly benefit me.
Sure.
But also, how many people have you talked to in our trucks that are on some form of a weight loss or trying to do something to lose weight or would like to lose weight but don't know how? I have a diet plan that I use. It's a program that I could share with everybody what I'm doing. I'm not endorsing it and saying this is what you should do. I'm simply saying this is what I'm doing. And as a truck driver, I lost a lot of weight on it.
Right.
And I've got a lot of friends who are truck drivers who have lost a lot of weight in this program as well. It's not the cheapest thing in the world, but it is effective. It does actually work.
Sure.
I know we've seen the proof. This would be a good chance for me to introduce that to y'all. We can talk about weight loss. I'd love to hear other people saying, here's what I'm doing or here's what you're doing, that kind of thing.
Right.
And so if y'all would let me, I would like to do that. I would like to share the ups and downs of my week. I would like to share a weekly weigh-in. I will share real numbers. No shame. And also, I would like to highlight a little bit about my program each week.
That sounds fabulous.
Does that work for everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's an awesome idea.
Great idea.
All right. Well, do we want to get started?
Let's do it.
All right. Guess my weight. We're going to go around the room.
Guess your weight.
Let's
All
go
right.
around the room. We'll start with buttermilk. And we'll work our way around to Eric.
278.
I love you. Vince?
305.
Jerome?
292.
Eric?
289.
That's a good engine. 289 engine? That's a
Yeah.
good engine.
It is a good engine.
So, my weekly weigh-in is actually going to take place in the morning before we film the podcast.
Okay.
I believe firmly that if you want accurate weights as best as you can get, weighing in the morning first thing when you wake up is the truest, most accurate you're going to get.
Sure.
Because throughout the day, you're going to eat, you're going to drink,
Right.
and it's going to fluctuate your weight. You typically, when you've been sleeping, you've been at least not moving and not eating for 8 hours. And so that's your truest form. So I will not be weighing on the show because
We record in the
we
evening.
record in the evening, if y'all didn't know. So my weight as of this morning was 295.4 pounds.
What was your guess, Jerry?
292.
So
Jerry
wins.
Jerry's
Price is
close to
Right
start
rules.
going over it, yeah.
And
Yeah.
when are you going to start looking for the new job?
I already started my resume updating here, so I'm just
305
working on it.
pounds. I mean, I guess 10
Well,
pounds
you
really doesn't
you
show
had made
much, but
difference. You made a reference before to being 300 pounds, so that's where I was putting my guess was somewhere in there.
I think so. This usually happens to me when I can see 300 pounds. It scares me enough.
yeah,
I've not crossed the threshold, but everybody likes to get right up to the edge of the
right,
Grand Canyon,
exactly. Look over.
look over, and go like, "Well, that's not good
It's
for
not
me.
good. Yeah.
Let's start working our way back."
Yeah.
So that's what it is, and we're gonna see how it goes. Now, I will refer to my dietitian, Jerome Barrow, on this one. He's learned and lost more information about weight loss than I'll ever know. For the first couple of weeks, we should expect that number to drop pretty quick, right?
Yes.
And then after that, it's going to stabilize. In weeks 3 or 4, we're going to start seeing it get less and less and less as we go. But what is it? I hear everybody say it's water weight, but what does that really mean?
You're actually losing excess water whenever you consume carbs and things of that nature. Carbs hold on to water. So when you start cutting carbs out and reducing your weight and focusing more on protein and things of that nature, your body will shed that excess water, that excess salt, and that's where the excess faster weight comes off in the very beginning.
I did see one time an article where they were talking about carbs, and they said that one part of a carb, so one molecule, will hold on to 2 molecules of water.
Yes.
So if you eat 1 pound of carbs, you will gain 3 pounds because you get 2 pounds. I mean, like, granted, that would be a pound of carbs is a lot of
It is
carbs,
a lot.
but your body will retain that much moisture, right?
Yes. It's a lot.
So it is like the old Garfield cartoon where he eats a 1 pound burger and he steps on the scale and he weighs 4 or 5 pounds. Like, that's not crazy off. That's actually kind of how that works.
Yes.
Isn't that insane?
You take in carbs. If you already have excess weight and things like that, then your body will take that. Carbs is sugar in its simplest form. That's all it is. Whenever you ingest carbs, it doesn't matter if it comes from candy, soda, raw sugar, it doesn't matter. Bread, it all turns to sugar in your body, period. Your body does not do anything else with it but sugar.
So when they talk about complex carbs versus not, that just has to do with how fast it metabolizes into sugar.
Correct.
Okay. So it's not like it's not sugar. It just, a complex carb takes longer and to break down into a sugar.
So a physician that I listen to on a regular basis explains it in its simplest form, and you can look at it this way. A carb, when it goes into your body, think of that as kindling in a fire. It burns up very quickly, very hot, very fast. A protein molecule is a bigger log on that fire. It still burns kind of fast, but it burns a lot slowly and a lot longer. A fat molecule burns very, very slow. It's like green wood. It'll burn very slow, very long, very almost smoldering.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And so I have to basically get through the quick carbs to get to a point where I can burn the fat.
Yes, and if you ingest more protein and more fat and cut the carbs out, then your body will switch over to burning fat for energy, which sustains more energy for a longer period of time versus a quick burning carb.
Well, and I think the gist of it is that is how the plan that I'm on works. So the plan I use, I really like it. I've lost a bunch of weight on it before, and I hope it works out this time. It's dieting for dummies. They have a ton of like snack food items, I'm going to call them, and they call them fuelings, and they're all nutritionally similar. So basically means that the protein, the carbs, the vitamins and all that stuff that's in each one is basically the same as the next. So you can have whatever you want, 5 of those a day. You space them out throughout your day. You don't eat them all 5 at once. And then you have a lean and green, which is a vegetable and a protein. And it's a little more complicated than just a vegetable and a protein. There are some like fats they want you to add in there and such. I know a lot of times when I was doing it before, I had a fat, so I did end up incorporating like butter on vegetables, not margarine, but like real butter and stuff like that to be able to get that fat intake I needed. It's a really cool program. It makes it very, very, very simple. That's one thing I think that diets always screw me up on is the complexity of them. And I know some people are like, oh, it's so simple. Like what's the high fat, high protein one everybody does?
Keto.
Atkins, keto.
Yeah, keto. Keto always messes me up. It's a great diet. I know a lot of people lost a ton of weight on it. I'm not knocking it. But it's like, I talk to people and they're like, oh, it's so simple. You know, you just eat this meats and with the steak with this fat, and then you eat the chicken and you add on butter and olive oil to it to get more fat out of it, and you do this, and then it's like, you know, you get the bacon fried shrimp and you put it in your air fryer, and then and I'm like, this is starting to get complicated. Like all of a sudden it starts out simple, but if you want some diversity, it starts to get like kind of difficult. You actually have to do more cooking and more prep work and everything. You have to really think hard about what you're going to do for the day, because you can't just roll up into McDonald's, or it's not easy to roll up into McDonald's and get.
You got to plan ahead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they have so much. I want to highlight it each week. I'm going to highlight one different fueling that they have. And so you pick up 5 of those. Eat them throughout the day. Easy. You can throw them in a work box and go to work and eat them throughout your day. There are options, and they're all nutritionally similar, so you can kind of do what you want. The company's called Optavia. It's by Medifast. If you've heard of Medifast, they're huge. Optavia is the program I use. It's 5-in-1. Like I said, 5 fuelings, 1 lean and green, and this one is cheesy buttermilk cheddar mac and cheese. It's 110 calories, 11 grams of protein, and 1.5 grams of fat. And it's simple. Add some water, microwave it, stir it up, microwave it, eat.
You're good to go.
Good to go. It's one thing I love. It's pre-portioned. You know, it's funny when you start this program, you look at this and you go, that's not a lot of food. And then you eat 5 times a day, and all of a sudden, like day 2 or 3, you're like, it's a lot of food.
Yeah.
How do I force myself to eat this much? But it forces your body to get the nutrients it needs when it needs it. It doesn't give you any excess, but it keeps you kind of right at full. Right when you're like, oh, I'm starting to drag, that's when my phone usually goes off and goes, time for a fueling.
Right.
So I really like this program. This is what I'm going to choose to use. This will be the fueling I'm highlighting this week. And I can't wait to see what happens.
I'm excited for you.
I'm excited for you too.
My commitment is to be honest. Look, if I screw up, if I have a bad week, if something goes wrong and I'm not able to do what I thought I could do or something, I'm going to be honest with y'all. But, you know, losing weight's a journey, and I can't wait to go on it with all of y'all.
And you know that we're going to hold you accountable here. The 5 of us here in this room are going to hold you accountable.
Yes.
But you know that those people out there watching, they're going to blow up the comments if you don't
I know.
do something. They're going to blow it up.
I know.
I also want to clarify one thing.
Okay.
This is not a sponsored thing. This is not an advertisement for Optavia.
Oh, yes, that's absolutely correct.
We got to make sure we clarify that this is not an ad.
Yes.
This is you paying for these things yourself.
I'm absolutely paying for this out of my pocket. If you are interested in doing what I'm doing, I suggest the person that I use, but I'm not getting any money off this.
Right.
I don't have anything more than this is a program that worked for me and a bunch of my friends, and I want to share it. If you're like, that sounds like a scam, I don't want to do it, that's fine. Don't. I really don't want y'all to think anything more than it's a program that worked for me. And if it didn't work for me, or if I hadn't tried it, I wouldn't want to talk about it. And I want, others as we go along this journey. If you have something that works for you, if you've done something before in the past, like, let us know. We'll talk about it.
Share it in the comments. Shoot us an email at the Outerbelt Podcast at gmail.com.
Absolutely.
We'd
be very happy to talk about it. Let's see what works for you. One thing that not most, but 50% of Americans have in common is little bit of obesity, and I'm right there in the middle of it. Eric, I don't want to hear a word out of you. No,
As I adjust my shirt.
I know, right? Are we all doing it?
So, anyways,
I think it'll be really, really good. I think I'm proud of you for doing it, and I think it'll be good, as well as everybody out there to join along with you in your journey if they would like to. And
yeah,
I think it'll be a really, really good thing.
I think so too.
absolutely. And if you don't want to join, if you want to lose some weight, but you don't want to do what I'm doing, but you want to go along with me, start it now. When you're listening to this podcast, start it now. Look at that other person in the truck with you or at home with you and say, let's do it. Let's do the Atkins. Let's do Optavia. Let's do keto. Let's do intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
Melissa was just sharing with us a news article, but right before the podcast started, about Love's truck stops and things that were happening with them. And it was pretty exciting. You know, we do cover a lot of truck stop news on this channel.
Sure.
And because it affects so many truckers, and especially when it's Love's, which is our primary fuel provider at Hyfield Trucking, and they are by far our best discounts, and they really treat our drivers well. So what were they saying in the article?
It sounds like they're turning 60 years old, and they're building 25 to 30 new stores in 2024, I think is what I read.
Wow, that's awesome.
I know.
They also have plans to remodel 35 to 40 new stores this year as well. So they're not only are they building 25 to 30 new stores, they're remodeling a bunch of stores, and they have possibly plans to completely rebuild 4 stores.
That's Amarillo.
So that's a lot of growth.
You know,
Sorry. Sorry. No
they have
disrespect, Loves, but that's Amarillo.
Yeah, I've seen them do that. That's pretty interesting. And I like the one, too, where Love's will just build a truck stop right across the street.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you're like, oh, that's the new one. But they leave the other one open.
Right.
I've seen them do that, too. But it's so funny, too, when they do that, because you can really see the old Loves versus the new Loves.
Right.
And, boy, they've
Big
come
difference.
a long way.
Yeah.
I also love, we saw this on our way back from Georgia. They were building a new Love's. And Love's always does this, and I love they do it. The very first thing they build, whenever they build a Love's, is the cover over the gas pumps, and they wrap it in Love's, and it's finished.
Yeah.
The finished
Done.
awning. Then they build
Everything
else.
else, yeah.
So you know
What's going
that's
in there?
a Love's there.
Yes, you do.
Like
Oh, that's
what a
interesting.
great advertisement. And also the TA is open finally in Kentucky that they've been building
Is it
for
really?
like 2 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, the one that's just south of Florence?
That's the one.
Wow.
So that was pretty cool to see. In the article, I did read one thing, and it kind of goes back to what we were just talking about with weight loss. They're talking about how they're partnering with driver-centric companies that the drivers really seem to love and really promote the drivers and all this stuff. And one of the ones they mentioned is Dunkin' Donuts. And I'm like, that's frustrating. I was really hoping hoping they would be like, we're going to get some more fresh food, some more wholesome food in there. And it's like, or some donuts.
Right.
I mean, I do love me some Dunkin' Donuts. Don't get me wrong, not anymore. But it's just like, I get it, but I wish we could see some healthier options.
Well,
I mean,
there is a quote here. It says, additionally, Love's releasing new and revamped store items, including fresh and packaged foods, in response to customer feedback. In the very next paragraph, it says, it's also working closely with brand partners such as Dunkin' Donuts. So
I read right over that.
They're looking at catering to everyone.
It's
those
balance,
who want
right?
Fresh and those who want Dunkin'.
It's all about
not that
balance.
Dunkin's not fresh, just a little bit different.
It's all balance.
It's all about balance.
Yeah,
it's all about balance. Truckers are going to truck. You know, they're going to want their Dunkin' Donuts and their coffee, and they're going. Others are going to want a salad or a sandwich that they can pick up and grab and go. So.
Absolutely. The other thing I saw that was kind of interesting is Love's is talking about building more into the electric truck infrastructure, and I think 29 stores are going to be getting electrical hookups for trucks. So it's kind of interesting to see what's happening there. It's one of those things too that I think is neat, where it's like, how do I put this nicely? You see people say like, well, how are they going to pull this off? And then slowly but steadily starts happening, and it's like, oh, that's how they're going to pull that off.
Yeah.
I want to be in the parking lot with my popcorn. It's already crazy at parking peak times, but if there's only 10 of those
spots. And there's diesel trucks parked in them because that's all they have. Have to park. It's going to happen.
There's got
We
to be
know
a
it's
way.
gonna happen.
There's
They're
got
gonna
to
have
be.
to way to monitor that.
There's got to be ways to do it other than just having like a docking station like you would have at a Tesla station or something. There's got to be something else.
Yeah,
I
I
don't-
just was teasing though.
Yeah.
I mean, you're limiting spaces. I realize that there's not a lot of electric trucks currently on the road.
Yeah.
But when that time does come, I think that might be a fun show to go sit and watch.
Absolutely. And I'm sure they're going to do them in places where they know they have electric truck
Oh, sure.
customers.
Sure.
Like, I don't foresee Columbus, Ohio getting one anytime soon. There's not
Right.
going to be one at Outerbelt's.
Right. Right.
But, I could see something out in the West Coast probably
Sure.
getting it or what have you. But it's very cool. They're going to add 1,500 to 2,000 parking spots throughout all these, is what
Wow,
they were
that's
saying.
awesome.
Going to put them close to 50,000 parking spots.
Between all of their,
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
a lot of spaces.
A lot of spots.
A lot of spaces.
But
and you still won't be able
Very
to find one.
interesting.
you still be able to find one.
I was about to say, still 7 of them poured out in Louisiana.
Yeah, right. Oh, they've come a long way. They've come so far. I mean, we've said it before. We've covered this topic back when Tom Love passed away, and
Yeah.
now they're turning 60, and they've got $1 billion expansion program and everything. I mean, I remember them when they were just a horrible truck stop with an Arby's, and now they're really admired company. It's
Yeah,
just
they
it's
really are.
amazing how they've been
They
able to
really are.
change their outlook. Yeah, so there's been some updates on the yellow freight situation. We still want to kind of let people know about that. YRC, there's been the bankruptcy proceedings are going on.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert: nobody bought everything that they were originally bidding for.
No, but they've broken it up into chunks
They have.
in the auction.
Absolutely.
It's interesting to drive by the yellow yard here in Columbus.
It's a tongue twister.
We went on Hyfield at Sea on the cruise, and that yard was packed full of trucks and trailers,
Packed.
tractors and trailers. We come back and it's empty.
Not a truck in there. Not
Not
a
a
trailer
truck
in there.
and a trailer.
Not
Nothing.
a man truck. Not
Nothing.
a yard dog. Nothing.
Nothing. Completely empty. Just the buildings.
Yep.
It was
Every
interesting
bay-
to see
every-
how fast that happened.
Every bay door's open.
Wide
There's not a
open.
single thing on
Nope.
anything. Like, I don't think there's coffee machines in there. I don't think there's desks. It is white.
They've cleared it out.
Yeah.
It was pretty fast.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
So
That's
now
still-
what does, at least for our location, is that going to be built for like residential now or yes?
We don't know yet.
Oh.
yes, we don't know yet.
Yeah.
There's been some buyers, and I apologize. I don't have the information here in front of me. I thought I did, but I don't. And we'll talk about it next week. But there have been some buyers that have been buying chunks of this land. So they're not one place in a small,
multiple locations.
multiple locations, chunks of their portfolio. So that one thing Yellow did have in its favor that helped them through the bankruptcy is they have tons of property. They're big landowners, so they were able to break up a lot of that and help pay off their debt. You're seeing big companies coming in by like 100 locations, not just like the one in Albuquerque got sold.
Oh, I
um,
see.
I haven't seen lists yet of what those locations are, but I will look and see if we can find where those are, who's buying what, because I am curious.
I am too.
Like the one in Columbus is ideal for anything. Like it's interstate frontage. It's right off the highway.
Yeah.
Sure.
Is it going to be another YRC terminal? Is it going to become a apartment complex? There's a huge apartment complex right next to it. It's kind of in a weird area where it's on the boundary of residential and industry, and I'm very curious what's going to happen to that piece of property.
Yeah.
And if it's already gone, has already been sold, or what?
Right.
Because it's not just
Yeah.
trucking companies that are buying those; it's land development companies that are buying those
Right.
portfolios. So, I think Ritchie Brothers got all the trailers and tractors to auction off.
Oh, really?
I believe they're the ones that are going to be doing it. I mean, they didn't buy them; they're just going to be
No, but
auctioning
they're
them off.
doing the auction
Yeah,
process.
They got selected to do
Interesting.
the auction process. So
Interesting. I was wondering where they all went to so fast.
Yeah.
You know.
I haven't driven by our Ritchie Brothers yard. We have one that's maybe 20 minutes away
that
from
on
ours.
It's more about 45
I-70?
minutes away.
Oh, is it
Yeah,
about
out
45 minutes away?
I-70. Yeah.
Yeah.
Out by the Loves in Springfield.
I'm
Yeah.
curious. I'm curious if it's just full of
Yeah.
YRC stuff or if they're spreading them around. It's a lot of trucks.
A lot of trucks.
A lot of
of
trailers.
trailers. A ton of trailers.
You know, it'd be interesting to go there and just watch them just cattle call through the through the auction. There's so many; they can't be wasting any time.
And
But
that's so much fun
Who
to watch
buys
those
those?
auctions.
Anybody?
Sure, you can go buy one if you
you
want
can
to.
buy- yeah,
Oh, so it's open to the public?
gotta have cash.
Of course.
Absolutely.
My charm won't work.
Unfortunately.
No.
Unfortunately.
But they'll go for all prices, and they'll go everywhere.
Yeah.
You'll see them just like all over the country, all over the world. Like I said originally, your old ones, they're all going to head down to Mexico most likely. Your newer ones are going to stay here stateside.
Sure.
Your new ones are probably going to head out towards West Coast. Like it's
So does this Ritchie Brothers actually buy the trucks and then they turn around and auction them?
Nope. They actually are just an auction house. So they will send. They'll collect all the trucks, put them on their property, and then they'll do the auction. They collect their fee, and they collect it on both sides.
Yeah, seller and buyer.
The seller and the buyer. So when you buy it, like you say you buy a tractor at $5,000 or whatever it is, let's say it's an old one, they'll have a premium, so it'll be like 10% premium. So you'll buy it for $5,000, and then you'll pay $5,500 because $500 of it goes to Ritchie Brothers, $5,000 goes towards the seller for what you actually bought it for. Then it flips, and when they actually go to pay the seller, they're going to tell the seller, or they're already having their contract, you're paying us 10% or 20% of your proceeds, so they get another $500. So they made $1,000 off the tractor, and the seller made $4,500, and you paid $5,500. So they split those fees up that way. And it could be anything. It could be, depending on how demand the product is, they could do a 15, 20%. They could do 5% seller or buyer fee. They could do on the back side. They can on the seller side. They can do that fee anywhere. It's pretty varied. It just depends on how popular and in demand that particular item is.
Sure. From an operational standpoint, do they maintain the trucks? Are they running vehicles, or you're not?
At Ritchie Brothers?
Yeah, these
generally
yellow...
speaking, those auctions are as is, where is.
Yeah.
So you're buying it as is, and where it sits, and it's your responsibility to get it off their lot. Now, most auctions will generally have a preview period, where a block of time where you can go and look at and inspect these things.
Oh.
Right. I was the team I seated today actually used to work for a company that refurbished trailers for the big players, the UPS's, FedEx, Old Dominion, that kind of thing. And his job was to go through and make those trailers roadworthy. Yeah. Where if he had to rewire something, reroute air hoses, that type of thing, that's what he did. So potentially these whoever's buying these trailers is going to have somebody do something like that with it. When they get it on their facility, they're going to go through and make it roadworthy.
I was just thinking from an operational standpoint, that's a lot of winter additive to make sure none of those trucks are freezing.
They're not doing that.
That you're jumping them all the time and the fueling of them, and
they're not doing
any of that.
Nope.
Noted.
No, they're not doing that. You show up, and if they've got to jump it off for you, they jump it off for you.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, been there, done that.
Yep. And we have some firsthand knowledge because we have bought. We've talked about it before on the show. We've talked about buying repossessed trucks.
Right.
And then we'll take them and we'll flip them and we'll get them all ready for new teams and such. A lot of those, banks will contract with Ritchie Brothers. So you'll see a truck on their lot, but it's not for auction. It's for that bank to sell. And they're just holding on to it for them. And so we've gone there and picked them up before. Mm-hmm. And I've had a couple experiences. The one in Ohio, I've had a couple different experiences with it. I've been there before where they bring a jump box and a jug of fuel because you'll need it to get the truck out of here.
Yeah.
I've had other experiences where I've showed up, told them what I was coming here for, and then I'll get out there and the truck's running, waiting on me. So it kind of depends on who's working in the yard that day.
Yeah.
But as is, where is very much that. They're not guaranteeing it'll run. I mean, a lot of people buy equipment that doesn't run, and they'll send a wrecker out there to go pick the truck up, and they'll bring it back to their facility on a wrecker, and then they'll go in and fix it, and they'll save tons of money by doing that. There's no guarantees on it.
What an interesting business.
Yep. And it's cool because they do the, everything from 18-wheelers and trailers and straight trucks to like Penske and Ryder get rid of a lot of their equipment there.
You go in there and see excavators and large construction equipment.
Mining equipment, depending on where you're at.
Yep.
Cranes. You're going to get started in the crane business. Go to Ritchie Brothers, buy some cranes.
This has been Auction Talk with the Outerbelt Podcast.
I just think it's a really unique business. I didn't realize all that.
It really is. It really is.
Makes sense. As is, where is.
Yep.
So.
Well, I've enjoyed this with y'all. I cannot wait till next week's show. Be a little less stressful. We were kind of running around with our heads cut off, getting all the wires run, and cameras and angles and all this stuff today. But we put it together, pulled it off.
It's been a lot of fun. I miss this.
Yeah, I do miss this too.
I do. I really do.
There's you that don't know, this is our therapy. Jerry has to edit out crying and all kinds of stuff. But this is fun. I look forward to having everybody on camera and talking to all y'all. This is not just the Patrick and Vince show anymore. Now it's the family show. It's all of us. So I think it's gonna be fun. I really do look forward to what this season has in store for us.
I do too.
Is there anything we need to tell the audience before we leave?
Don't leave money. No, that's not time for that yet, is it?
Could be. No.
Don't leave money on the table.
Anything coming up?
Anything coming up?
I don't know. We don't have dates for Expo yet. We don't. Matt's, I don't think we're going to be going this year, or if we do, it'll just be like one or two people.
Well, we can let folks know about Matt's coming up in the end of March.
Absolutely. Mid-America Truck Show's coming up March
21st through 24th?
23rd. March 21st to the 23rd. It's Mid-America Truck Show happening out in Louisville, Kentucky. That's a good show to go to if you just like trucks, especially when you crawl around in some big sleeper trucks. And you see a lot of people in the industry. A bunch of carriers are going to be out there.
I like all the extras.
Yes.
Like the things you can add to a truck.
Yeah, all the chrome.
The bling,
and,
whatever, you know.
And they have lots of giveaways. They have lots of stuff you can purchase, like bring some cash. You can buy all kinds of cool stuff. I can't even it's just a crazy amount of stuff. They're everything. And most of it's trucking related. Some's not, but most of it is. So it's a great time. I encourage people to go experience Matt's once. I think everybody needs to go experience Matt's once.
Absolutely.
It is a really cool place to be. It's not industry specific like ours is. It's trucking broad. So you'll see dump trucks, you'll see low boys, you'll see box trucks, you'll see Penske will be out there. Like it'll just be everybody. It's a good time. If you get a chance, go. I wouldn't maybe go completely out of my way to go there, but if you happen to be in the area, definitely take a chance or take a time to go see there. Oh, if you register before February 10th, so I don't know when you're listening to this podcast, but if you register before February 10th, it's free. If you do after that, it's $10.
And they do have free truck parking out there as well.
They do have free truck parking out there.
With shuttles back and forth from the truck parking to the halls.
Absolutely.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yep. Show suggestions.
If you've got ideas for things that are ideas or thoughts or things you want to learn about,
I thought he meant
feel free. Yeah. If you've got TV shows that you're watching on Netflix or something that you want to share,
I highly recommend. I can't think of a show right now to save my life.
Yeah.
Monk. If you haven't seen Monk,
Monk was a great show.
It's very fun.
Yeah.
Kid friendly.
Great show.
Yeah. Be sure to check out Expedite Chicks. Be sure to check out Nick and Carla. Be sure to check out Expedite Boogie. Be sure to check out
The Real Trucker
Couple. Be sure to go check out Truck and Travel. Check out Expire. Our Luke Share Expediting Adventures. They're about to put something out. Expedite Chicks. Did we say that already? Go support these channels. They put out excellent content. Some of them not very often, but they do put out excellent content. Like and subscribe. Hit all the buttons you see on your screen right now. Leave comments. Please share us with your friends and family.
Leave us reviews on your favorite podcast app as well.
Absolutely.
As a podcast, audio only.
If you're interested in joining the Hyfield family, check us out on our website at www.hyfieldtrucking.com. Send us a message over there. Melissa would love to chat with you. And
or Delina.
Or Kayla.
Or Kayla.
Or
me. If you're typing.
Yeah.
So one of us would love to chat with you.
Yeah, somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you don't get a hold of one of us, we'll call you back shortly.
Someone's available. Someone will be available, I promise you.
What are the times?
Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yes. Yes. If you want to call at 3 a.m., you can.
People do it all the time.
We will not answer.
You'll get a very pleasant voicemail.
Not recruiting.
And a return phone call.
Yes.
At 8 a.m.
And even an automated text message telling you that we will call you back during our business hours.
Absolutely. But we appreciate y'all hanging out with us. This is a lot of fun.
I'm excited.
I'm excited, too. Season 2 is going to be epic.
Love the new setup.
I do, too.
I love it.
I'm getting slippers.
Eric, what are your thoughts? All right.
Tell me all your thoughts on studio.
It does need a plant or something.
It needs something. I keep
Maybe
looking at it and I'm
maybe
like,
a holiday thing for each holiday. I could do that.
Okay.
Like
All right.
Valentine's Day and
King
nice.
Day.
see.
King Day. Well, you missed that one already.
I know. I'll have to shoot for next year. I don't know.
All right,
it needs
y'all.
something.
Everybody, y'all have a great night, or great day, or great whatever it is wherever you're at watching this on whatever you're watching it on. That was a mouthful, wasn't it?
That was a mouthful.
I couldn't do that again to save my life.
Oh.
It felt like a long way around.
Okay.
Make good decisions.
Y'all make good decisions and stay safe.
Don't leave money on the table.
And keep those wheels a turning.
Good night.